Oh, the misery. Not gonna do the whole thing, but what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Channel Chasers podcast. This is the last podcast of 2024. Woo! We made it, boys. We're here. Yay. We survived another year. So I guess this is technically the season finale of Channel Chaser Season 3. Mm-hmm. And what a show to end it on. We are here to talk about Arcane Season 2. I don't believe we actually have an episode covering Season 1. Do we?
Don't know.
I don't think so. I know we watched it together for sure, but I don't think this was at a point where I was like, we should do the podcast again.
Yeah, now that you mention it. Yeah, because I didn't even watch like the rest of Season 1 until way later.
Yeah, you watched it relatively recently. Like Season 1, I mean. So...
Well, yeah, because I'd watched half of it beforehand and then half of it...
Yeah, and yeah, Tony completely skipped on it, and then we told him we had to watch it for this episode, and I have a lot of feelings. There's going to be a lot for me to discuss. I got through it earliest, so I've had the most time to sit and think about it, and I've also digested like over 48 hours worth of League lore content.
Damn.
I've watched
maybe one.
I've watched so many 2 to 3 hour League LOL deep lore explained content, because I'm never gonna play this fucking game. I gotta get the lore somewhere.
Yep.
I'm not a MOBA guy. The furthest you will ever get me to go is Pokemon Unite. I actually love that game. That game is fun as fuck.
It is fun.
Yeah, you also gotta watch it when you go into League lore, because the TV lore could be different.
Well, obviously the TV lore is vastly different. That's one of the things that I was looking at. It's really interesting because there's also a whole thing, and I'm putting this as a separate section from the actual discussion, but there's a whole faction of LoL fans apparently that actually want to make Arcane's lore canon, because a lot of Arcane's lore is just confirming a lot of implied stuff. Like, for example, Jinx and Vi were only hinted to be related. They have never been confirmed to be sisters in official League lore. And Echo having a crush on Jinx is also just something that was in a throwaway voice line. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, there's a huge faction of people that actually wants Arcane's lore to be canon to League. Jace is a vastly different character. Victor, especially, for reasons we'll get into. But yeah, so there's a lot of stuff like that. Personally, I'm not a LoL fan, so I don't have a horse in this race, but Arcane has created some really solid lore. So I would definitely be one of those people to vote for yes. Also, Riot is coming out with some crazy projects coming up. They just announced a TCG, and those cards look really cool. I've already reawakened my card addiction, so I'm not touching that one. I'll stick to Pokemon.
Which, by the way, just people out there, this is not connected to Hearthstone.
Yep.
This is a completely separate thing featuring real life actual cards.
Yep. Although people have been wanting me to play Hearthstone for a while. But yeah, it's really interesting. But the thing that I'm the most interested in terms of Riot projects is 2KOs. They have this really interesting 2D tag fighter, and the cool thing is it's a multiplayer tag fighter where you can actually play with friends in a tag team, which I think is a really dope concept. Hasn't been done before, and I think that's dope. And I'm really interested to play characters. Personally, if I'm going to play anybody, I would probably play Vi, because Vi just seems like the type of character that I would play. I imagine just at least I don't know if League Vi would play different, but I'm sure they want to hook in the Arcane people. But so judging by Vi as a character, I assume her playstyle would be kind of the rushdown brawl type character, and that is the character I love to play in fighting games. So if Vi plays like that, I'd totally play that. Although I still want to play Jinx, even though Jinx a filthy zoner, and I'll try it. I'll try it just because Jinx is fun. I like my Harley characters, and Jinx is the Harley Quinn of League. Although I will argue, Arcane Jinx, Arcane has evolved Jinx past a blue Harley Quinn clone into her own unique character, which and this is coming from a Harley fan, I think Jinx is a much better character than Harley Quinn. At least the Arcane version.
That is, that's a tall order there, folks.
It's a tall order. And guys, I love Harley. Like that, she's one of my absolute favorite characters. But like the amount of depth they've given Jinx, like we'll talk about it. I'm so excited. But of course, that's enough show preamble. Let's get right down to business and jump right into the news with Brian. Take it away, Brian.
All right, so as Jay may have mentioned before and hinted at, we're probably gonna have a long discussion for news and for screen time. So I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. And Amy Pascal has recently, because you know Craven came out.
Yay! I'm still upset. I'm still upset with you about that trailer, Brian.
Yep.
But anyway, she talked about a few things and just a couple of small tidbits that I think are interesting about like this live action spider stuff going forward. As of right now, Craven is the last planned like
live action Sonyverse Spider movie. Yep, I heard this.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Die.
Yeah. So.
And it didn't end on a bang. It ended on a whimper.
As we all expected.
It's not even a whimper. It's a sad fart.
It got euthanized.
I've heard some people say that it's worse than Madam Web.
See, I don't know about that. I've heard from some people at least that there is some good action in it, and like the opening tricks you into thinking that it might actually be good, and then the movie continues and then becomes terrible.
And I heard that Russell Crowe is good.
Well, yeah, it's Russell Crowe. Man does not know how to phone it in. Like he will give it his all.
Yeah, and also here, but before we get to your thing, Ron, I just want to mention this. Did you hear about this, gents? Because I heard about it relatively recently. They had to change how Craven got to be Craven in this movie.
Oh.
So originally in the trailers, we saw like him getting infused with lion blood, so that's how he got his height.
Yeah, I remember that from the shitty trailer Brian made us watch. Yes.
It's not happening.
Okay. So what did they change it to?
The magic potion, the comic.
Oh wow, really interesting. Oh, side note, so I want to know this because I watched a review and they wouldn't tell me. So like they hinted that his brother is another Spider-Man villain. Is it Chameleon? Because aren't Chameleon and Craven related? Am I tripping? Was I thinking of something else?
Man.
Maybe in the cartoon. I know they're related. I know they're related in some incarnation of Spider-Man media.
Yeah,
Sure about.
I vaguely remember that. But the other thing that Amy Pascal talked about is she hinted at Spider-Man 4.
Okay.
The Tom Holland one. And so after years, now it's years of like speculation about what the plot is, we actually have like a little bit of confirmed plot.
Okay.
He will still be reeling from No Way Home. And when we pick up at the start of the movie, he's just given up on Peter Parker and his Spider-Man
all the time. No, that makes sense. Yeah. That tracks with the character. Oh, what else did she say?
Well, that's what she said. Maybe he's a little too much Spider-Man.
Ooh, interesting. Okay, so hopefully this does mean that it's just a fucking grounded street level Spider-Man movie. No weird multiverse bullshit like people have been trying to tell me.
Daredevil is supposed to be part of it.
Okay.
I'm okay with that. That's still street level. We're still okay here.
Even his journey in season 3 of Daredevil. I think he'd be good at like talking Peter back.
Oh yeah.
This is 4, dude.
but yeah. Also, someone else speculated that if he's in this mindset, certain ooze might take advantage of that.
Oh yeah. No, like that is definitely easy setup for the symbiote.
Yeah. So that's all though. It was just a hint at things to come.
All I'm saying, look, Sony, you can have this one for free. I don't even need it. Seriously, get the symbiote to be voiced by a woman.
Come on, man.
Get the symbiote to be voiced by a woman. Make it Peach crazy Yandere X. That is how That's how it's always been portrayed in the comic. Like, the symbiote has never been gendered, but like, to me, the symbiote, the Venom symbiote has always been a woman in my personal headcanon, because of how it's talked. How it always talks about how she wants Peter to be inside her. Like, and I'm not even making innuendos. This innuendo is on the page. It's there.
And I will say that also in your defense, this version of Peter has gotten used to hearing a female voice.
Yep. Yeah. With Karen. Yeah. With Karen.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'd love that. I'd love that. But yeah, good riddance. R.I.P. Rest in piss to the Sony live-action villain verse. The only one I liked out of all of you was the first Venom movie. I liked Morbius in a meme way. Like,
The only way you can like that movie.
you know, just having an absolute ball. If you've ever wanted to see what it's like for two Tony characters to play against each other.
It's just to fight.
with shitty early 2000s comic book movie effects. It captures the spirit of those shitty early 2000s comic book movies, and it's great in that way. But like, Sony misunderstood the meme, which is why they're like, let's re-release it. People are gonna totally watch it if we re-release it in theaters. It bombed harder.
No. Yeah.
But yeah, so rest in piss, Spider-Man Sony villain verse. We hardly knew
But
ye.
we are looking forward to whatever comes with Tom Holland's Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, of course. Like, Tom Holland Spider-Man is a whole different category, and and again, I would not mind other Spider adjacent characters getting their shine. Like, I'm excited for the Nick Cage noir show.
Oh yeah.
I would like to see this Silk project actually go forward, because Silk is an actually interesting character once you remove all the weird, like, kind of rapey stuff with the pheromones.
Also,
Yeah.
one other thing to look forward to with the Spider-Man 4 is, I don't know if you've heard who the director is.
Oh, it's not Watts?
Nope. It's I believe his name is Daniel Dustin.
I don't believe I've heard of this person.
Yes, you have.
Oh.
He directed Shang-Chi.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
So you know that all the fight choreography in
Oh,
the movie
yeah.
is going to be amazing.
All the action scenes are going to be fucking great, which is nice. But yeah, looking forward to it. All right, moving on. Now, this is going to be a hefty segment, mostly because I have been watching a fuck ton of TV. This segment is, of course, Screen Time. That is the segment of the podcast where the boys and I all discuss the pieces of media we have been consuming in between podcast episodes. That can range from anything from TV shows, movies that we haven't had time to cover, video games, podcasts, audiobooks, anime, everything in between. So like I said, I've been watching a fuck ton of TV. I'm fully caught up on Ranma 1/2 on Netflix, the Ranma 1/2 reboot, and My Girl Shampoo is finally here. So excited. The Chinese Amazon arc has begun. Really hyped. I don't know how long this anime is gonna be. I don't know if it's just a 1-core 12 episode anime or a 2-core 24. I'm hoping for 2 cores, but we'll see. I love it. I think it's great. As someone who's a big fan of the original manga, they've kept a lot of it intact in terms of like the old school 90s shonen rom-com trope. Like, yeah, you know, some of it doesn't age well, but like, I'm glad they didn't try to take the teeth away in a sense. And it's animated by Studio Mappa, so these fights are just, they go so hard because it's fucking Mappa. Mappa doesn't miss. They chain those people to their death for a reason.
Yep.
Never gonna see the light of day or their families ever. But boy, is that product worth it.
Yeah, the only time that they get to stand up or anything is to just use that room.
No, I'm pretty sure they provide those Amazon buckets.
Oh no, not the buckets.
but yeah, no, I love Ranma 1/2. It's great. Other stuff, I watched the My Happy Marriage OVA, the episode 13. Loved it.
I was about to watch that, but then my girlfriend was interested in what I was watching, and I said, we're watching this together.
Oh, you have to. My Happy Marriage is fucking beautiful. That was one of my top shows of last year in the year-end wrap-up. Yeah, My Happy Marriage, it was great. It's just Mio putting her lessons to work. She finally gets to go to her first high society party, where she gets to interact with everybody and you know, everybody is just blown away by Mio, because how could you not be? Mio is adorable. Also, we find out that was the big sister Hayasaki, or starts with an H, but Kyoka's big sister is a MILF. She's a MILF. She's a mom. I was like, oh shit, she's got a little one. Yeah, she has a little one. He's like 5. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, that kind of makes sense because given the time period,
Yeah.
marriages would be closer to.
Would be in like their mid-teens, which is where mid to late teens, which is where Kyoka and Mio are at right now. But yeah, she's. Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. But yeah.
It was mentioned in the first episode, actually.
Oh, okay. But yeah, we find out that Kyoka's big sister is a MILF. She has a little one. He's about 5. Apparently, she's separated from her husband. Like they're divorced.
Oh.
They're divorced. So they live apart. And like the whole conflict of the episode is that her little boy is being a little shit because you know, with the sister spending all her time with Mio teaching her etiquette lessons, it's been taking away from the little time that he does get to spend with her, because he only really gets to see her like once a month when she, you know, comes by the house. And with her being busy helping Mio, her time has been stretched even more thin. So he's been feeling neglected, and so he personally like doesn't like Mio because he feels like Mio's taking away his mommy. And so he was being a little shit to Mio, which like I understood immediately because I knew what was going on as soon as he started being like an asshole to her. But I was like, I'm not mad at this kid. I understand. And like Mio being like the sweetheart that she is, and how like emotionally intelligent she is. Like, you know, she apologizes, and there's just a really sweet moment where like, you know, he explains what's going on, and like, you know, but both parents like, and I really love this, and I loved how they showed the relationship between Kyoka's sister and her ex-husband. Both the husband and Kyoka's sister are like, man, I'm so sorry. Like even the dad's like, oh, I should have asked you about this. I'm so sorry. I should have talked to you. If I had known, we could have worked something out. I am so sorry. I love that both parents take accountability for like neglecting their son. It was just really sweet. I also just forgot how beautiful this anime is.
Oh yeah.
It's absolutely gorgeous.
It's beautiful. Just a beautiful work.
We also do get to check in on childhood best friend whose name I can't remember, and bitch ass Kaya.
Fucking God. Who cares about that?
But yeah. Also, Mio gets to have an actual conversation with the Emperor's son, where the Emperor's son gets to apologize for his dad kind of trying to ruin their lives. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just that old man. For the folks at home, watch that episode that we did on My Happy Marriage. It's a good one.
It is a good one. My Happy Marriage is one of those rare like ones where like Tony and I gave it a 10. I remember the 10s we give out, and because
yes,
they're few and far between. My Happy Marriage was one of them, because me and Tony are fucking whores for shoujo. And this is shoujo at its peak.
Yes. So best way I can explain it to my girlfriend this way. I like a good romance story. Damn it. As a 32-year-old man, I deserve to see a bit of romance in my life, man.
And it's so wholesome and sweet, and it feels so earned. It's slow, but it's not too slow, and it hits that like Violet Evergarden spot where like
you don't feel like depressed.
Yeah, without the depression of Violet Evergarden.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I watched that. What other stuff going through my list? I checked out the first 2 episodes of Creature Commandos.
I did as well.
I loved it.
So did I.
Absolutely loved it.
We all did. Okay.
Huh.
Yeah, absolutely loved it. So far, my favorite character is the Dr. Phosphorus, but it's Alan Tudyk. Alan Tudyk is hilarious.
Well,
Yep.
it's Alan Tudyk who gets to be like his full snarky self.
Yep.
Usually they have him tone it down and be
But
like,
but no, you can also tell he's reined in though. Like he's not like unhinged Alan Tudyk. I've seen unhinged Alan Tudyk. Unhinged Alan Tudyk is that fucking goat.
mhm.
Oh, and
He's more along the lines of his
He's like he's Clayface without an accent.
definitely, I agree with
and
that.
without the obsession of theater.
Yeah, yep. Without the theater, without the theater obsession. But he's fun. I especially love the what? I was trying to be a bro and give you a minute in there, which he was.
Yeah, he was.
And
He
the
was.
ongoing joke of I'm smiling.
Yep.
sarcastic.
Yep, sarcastically. I also really like the bride. The fact that they turned Frankenstein's monster into an incel is hilarious to me.
Oh yes,
Mhm.
boy. What's that man's name?
David Harbour? David Harbour, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, David
that-
Harbour is the actor.
Yep. Yeah, no, he's fucking hilarious as r/nice guy Frankenstein.
So great.
You were supposed to be with me.
Also, the fuck about that bride is played by the actress who I think it was Illyria Sand.
Yeah, hilarious Sand, yeah.
Yep.
What-
And also Alora Vysoren.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Laura Messor. Yeah, I think that is funny.
Yep.
That is so
It is.
funny.
It is. She's a great actress.
And like it's such an interesting twist. Like I brought it up to Brian. I was like, Brian, does this count as incest? I was like, it doesn't technically count as incest, right? Because like, yeah, he created her, but she never referred to him as her father. She referred to him as Mr. Victor.
I think it's a bit of both in a weird way. I mean, Eric saw Victor as a dad.
Yeah.
Thank-
Mm-hmm. Which it feels weird that his name was Eric. That just feels so
It is.
random.
Which in the actual book that Mary Shelley wrote, the creature.
Yeah, his name is Adam. Yeah, it's Adam. I thought that's what I thought it was gonna be because that was the name in the book. Yeah.
But Eric seems like a very fitting name for this guy.
There's no other way to describe him. He's a fucking incel. He literally feels entitled to a woman, and it's gross. And I kind of love the.
Follows her around the world over a century.
I just love the comedy of like him being this entitled incel and never getting what he wants because he's gross and ugh.
Yeah.
And also the fact that he killed the man that she actually had a thing for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Have you nobody?
he literally pulled the Yuki meme of it should have been me, not him.
Yeah.
Mhm. But you know,
But also
Eric-
in the show,
fucking Rick Flag Senior, man.
I like Senior. But I do appreciate that he was like, no, this is weird. I shouldn't be doing this. But to be fair, like, you know, he
throwing that.
tried his best, but she was throwing it at him, and he was just like, you know what? All right,
Yeah.
all right,
which that has me,
yeah.
like, especially with the scene with the grandma,
Mm-hmm.
where she's
Yeah.
speaking for the grandma.
Well, her mom. I think it's her mom.
Her mom.
Yeah.
It's father. Very.
Sweet.
Yep. Yeah.
But that was very sus, and the fact that she was on him instantly.
I mean, we know why she was on him instantly. She's a fucking Westaboo. She has an Ameriboner, and he's like Mr. Americano.
I guess, but also I just get sus vibes.
I don't. The only thing that's sus about it is that she was throwing ass at a man that's fucking more than twice her age.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
Mhm.
state of her nation.
Yeah, right. Her nation is like stuck in the '90s in terms of pop cultural touchdown.
Oh yeah. It's her
Well, yeah. Late '80s, early '90s at best.
Definitely, it's that sweet spot, and I read the whole meaning of the word sweet. when
Yeah.
it came-
Like I love the guard guy. He just keeps making the references. That guy's hilarious. I love him. I hope he doesn't die too soon.
Yeah.
Also, you know, go ahead, Brian. Sorry.
Shout out to Sean Gunn and his characters.
Oh yeah.
Weasel,
Oh, yeah.
oh god.
Yep.
And then GI Robot.
Oh,
Killing Nazis, Miss Nadia.
oh man.
I would
If
like
I'm
to kill
not
Nazis
killing
with you.
GI Robot has been waiting decades to find a friend to kill Nazis with.
And he goes how many Nazis he's killed during World War II.
Oh,
It's
that was hilarious. I love that shit. But yeah, no, Creature Commandos is great. I love it. It comes out on Thursdays. I'm excited to watch the next episode.
But we are under no delusion. This is basically just like
The Suicide Squad 2, the animated series.
with
Yeah.
James Gunn just giving like full carte blanche to do whatever.
Yeah, oh,
Also,
small side note. I love the new logo.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good.
It's really cool. I also I just want to say I love that in the comics they brought the Bullet logo back. I've always loved the Bullet logo. It's always been my favorite. The classic black logo with the stars, always been my favorite. Like
I like the medallion DC in the center with the stars.
oh with the
all
blue
across
with the blue yep with the blue I mean the shooting star one that they did in the early 2000s isn't too bad. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a vague idea of
I
what you're
also
talking about.
preferred the like variation of that one where it was like had a little bit of a page turn.
Oh, that was cool. That was cool. Okay, so in terms of other stuff I watched, speaking of shows I caught up on Invincible Fight Girl, and this show is awesome. We reacted to the trailer. I knew it was gonna be good.
That one show with the girl fighting.
Yeah. So yeah. No. That's Gentry Chow, which is on the list. I did binge through that one as well. I'll get to that one in a second. Invincible Fight Girl is the wrestling one. Yeah, it's the wrestling one. And dude, oh my god, you want to talk about going hard in terms of fight animation? This is some shonen. It's some shonen ass shit. Like the first, I kid you not, in the first fight scene that they show in the opening scene, they're like the mentor character who is young at the time, because like it does the classic thing of it's almost a Deku All Might. It seriously reminds me a lot of early My Hero, because it opens up with the main character, Andy. She sees a match with this one wrestler lady named Kesa Poblana, and when Kesa Poblana is like doing her thing and like moving at hyper speed, they're literally playing the Dragon Ball teleport sound effect as she's moving around. Like shit is going crazy. This show goes hard as fuck. It oozes classic shonen, like to the point where Kesa Poblana now is your traditional like classic shonen classic shonen mentor, like crotchety granny, super short. Like she reminds me of Genkai from Yu Yu Hakusho.
Oh shit.
And she goes so hard. One of her first tests, technically I don't think Andy has completed it yet, but she's supposed to perform this perfect strike 10 times, and she does a demonstration, and it has like this crazy wind turbine blast and all these crazy, like she has like this she was able to like pin people that were giving Andy trouble with just her aura. Like she didn't even touch these motherfuckers. Like this old lady is her. Like I don't know what got her out of wrestling. That's one of the big mysteries. Like what exactly made her so jaded over the past 10 years, because you know it's only been about 10 years since Andy saw that match as a kid. And Andy, it's very much like a bunch of different classic shonen. Like Andy comes from accountant aisle, like literally an aisle full of accountants who handle all the taxes for the various wrestlers in the world.
That sounds lame as hell.
Like you know, her parents went to accountant aisle because they like being accountants and they want to be safe and boring, but Andy wants to be a wrestler, and it very much reminded me of Gon on Whale Island and stuff like that. She saves her town from these wrestlers who go rogue because they fuck with Andy fucks up on doing their taxes, so they start getting angry. It's really good. It goes so hard. The characters are so over the top and fun and dumb. So we have our main character Andy, who's your standard shonen protagonist, has like the talk no jutsu, power of friendship, talk you into being my friend from being my enemy type powers. You know, yep. she's got obviously a lot of talent and skill from a lot of hard work and training. Then we have Craig, who is her manager, who is the nephew of Kesa Bavana, and he is your standard like schemy, like smarmy, like con artist man.
He's that suit character.
Yeah. No. The suit character, the suit character who's built like a brick shit house is somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The suit character, that's the smarmy bastard.
No, that is not the smarmy bastard. He's the suit character is actually a super sweet, innocent little guy. Even though he's built like a brick shit house. The skinny dude with the brown hair, he is the manager, and he's a super scammer. Like he sells bootleg cell phones out of his jacket. Like he's always looking for a quick buck and a scam.
That's what I thought you were referring to, Jay.
Nah.
That's what the type of character I was talking about.
Yeah. Okay, my bad. But yeah, so that's him, and then we have Mikey, who wants to be a sports journalist, a wrestling journalist, and he's really good at like technical analysis of fights. So he's the one who's helping Andy with her techniques, analyzing fight footage, coming up with strategies. And he comes from a family of wrestlers who are all built like brick shit houses. Like Mikey is 8 years old, but he's built like a JoJo 8-year-old.
Oh shit. And those JoJo 8-year-olds are built different.
Like imagine what you would think Jotaro Kujo looked like at age 8, considering what he looked like at age 14.
16, actually.
Oh, 16. But yeah, he looks like a JoJo 8-year-old. He's built like a brick shit house. Like, this dude is literally a square.
Like, listen, to better differentiate, when we're talking about JoJo's 8-year-olds, we're talking about JoJo in the 80s.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about before Araki's like skinnied out his protagonist. Yes. 80s rippling muscles JoJo's, and like his family developed a wrestling style to actually like create techniques to tenderize meat with their bare hands and pure raw unadulterated strength, and their family are known as the Beef Punches, and their dad is voiced by Clancy Brown, and it's fucking hilarious. And the gimmick is right. So Mikey is the youngest. All the kids' names start with M, right? And the funniest thing is the oldest brother and the strongest member of the Beef Puncher dynasty is Mikey's brother M. Brandon. M. Brandon. Like his name is literally M and then Brandon, and they literally say it as M. Brandon. And then Andy's like M. Brandon, and he's like, Dad wasn't very creative.
True man who beats the shit out of fucking beef every day, bro.
Yeah, no, and it's shown as fuck. Like he has a technique, and he yells "Beef Puncher." Oh my god, it's so dumb but so fun. It's great. I love it. Like this is one we gotta cover next year, cause it's not wrapped up yet. But we definitely gotta cover this one next year. It's so much fun. I love it. Another show that I really enjoyed. I talked about it briefly because Tony had mentioned it. I checked out Gentry Chow versus the Underworld. I really enjoyed it. I got hooked. It has a really good story. I liked it gives me very much Buffy vibes, but without the cringe of early Buffy.
Early Buffy.
And there's no Xander, so yay!
Yay!
Fuck Xander. I've always hated Xander.
You bitch.
I'm sorry to anybody who actually likes Xander, but like, go back and watch Buffy. Xander sucks.
Yeah, listen, folks. You can like a character as they progress.
But here's the thing: Xander doesn't grow until like the very, very end, and he barely reacts when Anya dies. It's crazy. Anyways, not talking about Xander, but I could go on a Xander rant. But like, yeah, it gives me very much Buffy vibes because it's very much your like high school protector, like fighting against supernatural creatures. The interesting thing though is like Gentry, like they don't even try to keep it a secret. Like very early, like within like the first 3 episodes, Gentry is exposed as the demon girl who started the fire when she was a kid, and so everybody just knows that she's the girl with the powers.
Well, shit.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it. It's really good. It also gives me Owl House vibes to anybody who likes the Owl House. Especially because of the character of Ed, who is the Jiangshi. Ed reminds me so much of King. It's hilarious. It's crazy. He's so obsessed with being scary, and nobody is scared of him because he's adorable. And so he has this whole running gag of like he's obsessed with social media, and he's trying to make TikToks of scaring people, but people are actually just following him because he's cute.
I mean, you're a pudgy cherub of a hopping vampire. You're not really scaring anybody.
And eventually he just embraces it and like kind of like leans into the cuteness, and the genuine friendship between him and Gentry is so good. I love them. Like it very much gives me the same kind of brother-sister vibe that Luce and King have from Owl House. They're so fucking cute. I love Gugu. Gugu is great. Gugu is her great aunt, Flora. There's a lot of mystery with Gugu. Gugu is a shady old lady. I don't want to go too deep into the story in case the guys want to watch it themselves. But it's really fun. I thought it was gonna be a Monster of the Week type thing because I had all the Buffy vibes, but like it's actually very serialized very early. There is a bit of a love triangle, but they don't lean on it. They don't lean on it for too long, which is great. Because I was afraid that this was gonna be like a whole season thing. But it's resolved pretty well. And I'm pretty happy with the way they went. What else is there? The action is really good. I do like the villain, the big bad of this first season. You understand his motivations, but he's still a pretty bad dude. But he's not necessarily. But they don't redeem him in the end either. He's still a bad guy. I mean, they kind of redeem him, but not entirely. They still hold him accountable. The only thing. Now I did read, because I did do some digging, and you know, apparently the creators and cast are hopeful for a season 2, but with the way they ended the first season, everything was kind of tied up in a nice bow. Like, they didn't really set up anything for a second season that I noticed personally. Like, I am honestly perfectly satisfied if this is just a one and done. I mean, would I like a season 2? Hell yeah, this world is really interesting. And something that they did hint at, but like they kind of dealt with it. This is a slight spoiler. In the final battle, at the end of the season, they open up portals to different underworlds where you see other creatures. So you see like chimeras from Greek mythology. You see fucking Rakshasa from Hindu mythology. So like they hint at like other cultures and other cultures' mythological creatures being a thing in this world. So I would love to see something like that if they do a season 2. But like they didn't really set it up as like having another big bad. Like everything seems pretty tied up. Gentry has pretty much full control and mastery of her powers. Her personal life seems to be in pretty good shape, and her family life seems to be in pretty good shape as well. So yeah, I really like the show. I would love to see a season 2, but honestly, like I said, if it's a one and done, I'm okay with it. So that's it for Gentry. Ciao. The other thing I checked out was the Sabrina Carpenter Christmas special on Netflix, A Nonsense Christmas by Sabrina Carpenter, and I enjoyed it. It was a Christmas variety show. Like it had a bunch of sketches and like you know, stitched together with her songs from her Christmas album that she came out with last year, A Nonsense Christmas. And there were a lot of great guests up there. She did a Santa Baby duet with Shania Twain. I was like, oh shit, Shania Twain! Shania Twain was up there. Tyla was up there. It was a lot of fun. There was a whole bit going on throughout the entire special about like her trying to craft her nonsense outro. Because if you know Sabrina Carpenter, whenever she performs nonsense, she always makes up a new outro for the song at the end of every performance. So you know, she was really working on that throughout the whole time. And one of the funniest jokes that she starts off the special with in her opening number is that it's TV-14, so I'm allowed to say fuck 3 times. She's like, oh fuck, I said it. Fuck, damn it. Now I only have one more. And she gets the last fuck in towards the end. It's great. But yeah, it was fun. I'm a big Sabrina Carpenter fan. I like her music a lot, so I had fun with that. You know, it was a nice fun Christmas special. Other stuff, again, one of my Christmas traditions, I don't know about y'all, but one of my Christmas traditions is I watch the Wizard of Oz every year. So I did that, especially with having seen Wicked relatively recently. I did this every year regardless, but like, I don't know, it felt a little extra special watching it this year. If you're curious, the Wizard of Oz is on Max if you want to watch it yourself. Also, I watched A Star Is Born, not the Lady Gaga version. Personally, what I feel is the superior version, the 1954 Judy Garland version of A Star Is Born, the superior version. Yeah, that's the best one out of all the A Star Is Born movies, which there are 3. There's the original, I believe, 30s one, who I can't remember who the actress is, but Judy Garland is a remake, and then Lady Gaga's is a remake of the Judy Garland.
I thought there was a Streisand.
Was there a Streisand one? I don't remember. There might have been a Streisand one in between after the Judy Garland one, but the Judy Garland one is my favorite because Judy Garland, again, one of the reasons I watch Wizard of Oz once every year. Judy Garland is a once in a generation talent. Like that lady, her voice. Like, that's a 1 in a million right there. Like, if you ever get a chance, like you gotta watch that one. Like, if you think the Lady Gaga one is good, that Judy Garland one is amazing because it is just straight up her life. If you know anything about Judy Garland's life, that movie is just straight up her life. She's a phenomenal talent. And talent runs in her fucking family, because I mean, look at Liza Minnelli, right? And like I also watched just because I was in like a rabbit hole with that stuff after watching both The Star Is Born and The Wizard of Oz. I watched a whole biography video on Judy Garland, because I mean, I already knew a lot about her life, but like learning more about like what she went through and just all the fucked up shit, also just all the people she knew and was like connected to is kind of wild. Like there's a lot of interesting facts about her life. Judy herself was a big icon within the LGBTQ plus community, and something super interesting is that her father was actually a gay man. It was never confirmed while he was alive, obviously, but later on, like, it was discovered that he had several affairs with men in the past. But yeah, super interesting. I love Judy Garland. She's one of my favorite classic Hollywood stars. Wizard of Oz is one of those classic pieces of like cinema history, and like I watch it every year for Christmas. It doesn't have a Christmas, like it has nothing to do with Christmas in the story, but for some reason it just has a Christmas vibe to it. To me, I always think of Christmas when I watch The Wizard of Oz. Maybe because I've always watched it around Christmas time ever since I was a little kid.
Yeah.
But so there's that. What other stuff am I for? Last but certainly not least, I did check out a movie that I've been meaning to watch for a while. So I've been getting into wrestling over the past year, like back into wrestling. I've like been like rewatching old storylines that I've missed, because I jumped out of wrestling around like 2009. So like I've basically caught up to all of wrestling from 2009 to now. But like that's not what I've been watching. What I watched was a movie I've been meaning to watch for a while since it came out, and I found out it was on Max, and that is The Iron Claw, which is the wrestling film starring Jeremy Allen White, Zac Efron, and I forget the other guy who played the other Von Erich brother. But it's about the Von Erich family, the one of wrestling's biggest dynasties and one of the greatest tragedies in all of wrestling. That family has been through the fucking ringer. So it's an entire dynasty of wrestlers, starting from their dad, Fritz Von Erich. So Fritz had, I believe, 5 boys who were all notable, famous wrestlers, and only one of them is still alive today. And then 3 out of 5 of them took their own lives. Yeah, it's pretty intense. It's a lot about it. Like the movie and their story all focuses a lot about like parental pressure, because Fritz was a hard ass, and like he put a lot of pressure on his kids because he himself never got that world champion belt, so he put a lot of pressure on his kids, and that pressure took its toll. Currently the only living Von Erich brother, Kevin, his sons are actually current tag team wrestlers in wrestling today, and they have their own Von Erich tag team duo, so that's cool. But the movie was really good. I loved it. Really well acted, super intense. It's not one of those like you put on for fun type movies, but like it's a really well done dramatic movie. Zac Efron is the one who plays Kevin, so he's the lead. but the other two, especially Jeremy Allen White, people forget how good of an actor Jeremy Allen White is because they're so used to seeing him in comedies like The Bear and Shameless, but he fucking killed that shit as
And
Carrie.
comedies, both of
Get pretty intense, yeah, but yeah, Iron Claw, very good, highly recommend it. I don't think it's gonna end up on my list for the end of the year wrap up in terms of movies, but I did enjoy it. But yeah, that was a long list. I spent a long time yapping. So Brian, what have you checked out in between podcast episodes?
All right, I'll try to keep it shorter, but I did have a few things myself. Went through several things myself. But we already talked about Creature Commando. Skeleton Crew. I finished watching the first 2 episodes and now watched the third, and I'm really liking it.
Nice. Real quick, I did forget something. There was one thing I forgot. I also checked out Super/Man, a Christopher Reeves story. The Christopher Reeves documentary that's on HBO Max. I absolutely loved it. As somebody who is physically disabled, now granted, I'm not physically disabled due to a spinal cord injury. I'm not, paraplegic. I do have, more mobility than most. But like ever since I was little, Christopher Reeves has always been a personal hero because of his disability advocacy, and seeing his story and his journey, and like hearing from the man himself talking about how, like, honestly, my my accident and my injury gave me a lot of perspective. And before then, I never really considered myself a hero, but then after the accident, I really was able to figure out what a hero is. And he talks about how he figured out his definition of a hero is somebody who is able to find the strength to continue on despite great obstacles and adversity. And one of the things that really touched me is that, like, after his accident, the thing that really got to him, and the thing that really actually made him appreciate his time as Superman, because as an actor and as the serious theatrical actor that Chris was, he was really afraid that he was going to get just pigeonholed thanks to wearing the cape. But like after his accident, like so many people came up to him and was like, Chris, we love you. You'll always be our Superman. And like it really helped him move forward. And like just to see just this man's just tenacity and the fact that he never gave up no matter what. And his advocacy for pushing forward and moving the needle in terms of the conversation about disability and helping people with disability, and him really pushing forward and pioneering the a lot of the conversation around stem cell research. And as someone who has directly benefited from a stem cell related operation, I have a lot of thanks to give to Mr. Reeves. I believe because the operation that I got was very experimental at the time, and I believe I could be wrong, it has been years, but I believe the operation was funded by a grant from the Reeves Foundation. So I do have a personal connection to all of this, as small as it may be, but it changed my life, man. I mean, there was a lot of people with my condition in particular. A lot of it was more so of you won't get any worse, but you won't get any better either. But after that, I was able to really push myself. And sure, I don't think I'm ever going to be able to fully walk and be completely mobile on my own. And I've honestly come to terms with that and have accepted that as my normal. But to be able to kind of push past those limits, I couldn't have done that without that operation. And Christopher Reeves was very instrumental in pushing forward the conversation about this kind of stuff. So I owe a personal thank you to the man. And even though I've always been more of a Batman guy, I will always have a special place in my heart for Christopher Reeves. It's a really good, really well put together documentary, and I have to I feel so terrible for his kids. Do you know what's crazy? So Chris died in 2003. Did you know shortly after that his wife Dana died of lung cancer?
Yep, never smoked a day in her life.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
When I heard that, I was like, wow, these poor kids. Especially her son, Will, the youngest. Damn, dude, that's gotta be a lot. Losing your dad and your mom within 18 months. Like, wow, I couldn't even imagine. But yeah, no, it's a really well put together documentary. You get to see a lot. You get to hear a lot from Chris himself and a lot of his thoughts about Superman and about how seriously he took the role and the movie. And he even talks about how he had beef with Marlon Brando because Brando just saw this as a payday, and Chris really saw how important the role of Superman was and how important Superman is to America and American culture. And as a former actor myself, and I'll still say aspiring actor because that'll always be a pipe dream like in the back of my head. I took a lot of inspiration like after hearing Chris just kind of speak about his passion for the craft itself. So if you're interested and you got some time, definitely check it out. It's super motivating. But yeah, back to you, Brian. Sorry, I didn't mean to take over again.
Anyway, Skeleton Crew. I'm liking it. It's definitely like kid focused, but it does have that like child wonder vibe to it, which is not surprised because I was wrong. When I initially told you guys about the show, I thought it was created by the Daniels. That did Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yep.
They don't do it, but they directed a couple episodes. The creators of this show are the guy who directed No Way Home and one of the guys that he wrote it with.
Was the guy who directed No Way Home
And,
the same guy who directed the other Spider-Man movies, John Watts, or
Yeah,
different?
John Watts.
Okay.
John Watts created this with one of the guys that he wrote Homecoming with.
Okay, cool.
And they, especially in Homecoming, they nailed down like the whole teen vibe.
Well, yeah. They definitely got like it felt Homecoming especially felt very John Hughes-esque for sure. So I figured this was gonna be very Goonies. Like I'm probably gonna wait till it ends to binge it instead of watching it week to week.
Yeah. Jude Law's character, I'll be honest with you, he only got introduced in one of the final scenes in episode 2. And now he's in episode 3, and his character is very like.
Is he an actual Jedi?
That part of the thing of his character is the kids question whether or not he's an actual Jedi or not.
Okay.
And they basically come out and say like a mystery about him in episode 3, so you gotta be thinking it's not just that simple. There's gotta be an extra somewhere.
Yeah.
Because it's just too carbon copy as it is right now. But anyway, episode 3 also introduces a cool like owl alien character.
Nice.
That's just straight up an owl that is has a human voice.
Cool.
And it's the voice of Maybe from Arrested Development.
Oh, cool.
And it's pretty cool. The kids definitely act like kids. And similar to Stranger Things, it looks like we might be following the adults as well.
Oh, there are adults in this show?
Oh yeah. Well, especially the main kid's dad.
Okay.
They that I told you that was a single father and that the kid was kind of a latchkey kid.
Okay. So they
He hasn't gone full on yet, but I feel like he might go Space Joyce Spires by the end of it.
Well,
Or like go full hog crazy into the unknown, do everything to help my kid type. Anyway, moving on. I finally caught back up with Dirty Laundry, and instead of doing my usual where I say 3 secrets from each episode, since I watched multiple episodes, I'll just do one apiece. One of them was another Smosh episode, and it was who gave $10K to a football coach.
Oh, nice.
That's an interesting secret.
Yep.
And then they had a travel edition where they brought on people from, you've talked about this before, Jay, the Nebula streaming service.
Oh, nice. I love Nebula. Nebula is great if you are a big fan of video essay YouTube. A lot of the video essayists are up there. I fucking love that service.
Well, they brought in Michelle of Challenge Accepted.
Nice.
And the Sam, Ben, and Adam, the guys behind Jetlag the Game.
Cool.
And thought it was pretty apt that the one secret that I included was whose suitcase exploded.
Oh shit. I'll tell you a fun story.
And then in another episode, who decorated Paris Hilton's ass?
Ooh, interesting.
And then
With what?
that was all the secret said.
Interesting. The glitter?
And the
This is like a... Now I'm curious. But anyways.
Last one, I don't think I got the phrasing right down, but it was basically who almost got decapitated.
Oh shit.
Yep. Then I watched a different new dropout show called Gastronauts, where it's a cooking competition hosted by Jordan of I think it's the Fork or the Spork, and also the Good Mythical Crew. She's the one that they get to do like the professional like judging of food and stuff.
Ah, cool.
Oh,
And
sorry.
this new show is her hosting it, and what it is 3 professional chefs will compete using mostly sincere prompts made by 3 guest comedian judges.
Interesting.
And it's 3 challenges per episode, three chefs, and they do their hardest to be sincere with the props that they're given, but since they are comedians, they're not given like, make a frise salad with these ingredients, so and so. The prompts are literally heaviest dish, like actual factual heavy, not like heavy as in cream and cheese.
Yeah.
Physically, it's dense.
Interesting.
Yes.
Because when you say heavy food, I think of like filling instead of like actual weight. But I'm guessing you're talking about actual weight.
Yeah.
Actual weight. And that one was given by none other than Brendan Mulligan.
Nice.
Yeah,
But
because funny thing about this, Brian, my girlfriend did it with her brother.
Oh, nice.
And she mentioned that episode that you talked about.
Cool.
Other prompts include edible action figure,
Ooh.
a savory float.
What? That sounds nasty.
Oh no, apparently they were delicious. Although one guy, they were like, we do have to deduct points to you because you basically just gave the soup.
That's what I imagine.
Warm.
Honestly, that's what I imagine.
And then, last but certainly not least, by none other than Grant O'Brien, which if you know that name from Dropout, he is also the bartender for Dirty Laundry and very horny themed guy. His prompt was simply horny.
Okay.
Like,
And-
is it something that has to have physical horns, or are we talking about?
Well, like, is it like are the dishes sex themed? Like, are they aphrodisiacs?
All their theme was horniest.
Okay.
So one girl made like oyster shooters.
Okay, that makes sense. Oysters are an aphrodisiac.
One guy made like a steak dish, but his presentation was very vaginal.
Oh, he made steak. Oh man, I was hoping when you said steak that it's gonna be maybe like a steak and blowjob reference there somewhere.
Oh my god. Yeah.
But I forgot what the third one did for that, but very unique.
At least he didn't use roast beef for the vaginal reference.
Oh yeah. I think the third one did a dessert.
Interesting.
Oh god.
A cream pie, perhaps?
Maybe.
No, not that. No. I think it was something chocolatey.
Oh no.
Anyway.
Oh god. Oh, that took it the other direction. Anyways.
Yeah,
Anyway.
absolutely wrong.
Anyway, also in the music world, Rose dropped her debut album,
Nice.
which, if you don't know who that is, she was one of the members of Blackpink.
Yeah, I've heard of her.
And this is her debut album, which is in English.
Nice.
Because I didn't know this until looked into it, but she was actually born and raised in New Zealand.
Interesting.
And it was only when she heard news from family about a K-pop group being put together that she went to Korea and joined the group.
That's cool.
And in this one, I really liked her debut album. It was really good. There was definitely influences of like Taylor and maybe some Ariana, but also she doesn't like completely lose her K-pop roots.
Nice.
Her lead single from this album went really super viral. APT.
I feel like I've heard it.
It's a duet. It's a fast beat duet with Bruno.
Oh yeah. I have heard it.
Yep. And then also apparently they had so much fun with that, and they became friends off of that. For her album, he actually wrote her a song for it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh shit.
It's a slower song about basically fandom.
Interesting.
Huh?
I didn't know he had the time. I thought he was chained to the casino.
Apparently he finally worked off his debt.
Good for him.
Oh
But,
shit.
Yeah, she also has a song on there called "Toxic to the End," which is one of those songs where it's an upbeat sad song,
I love those.
and it talks about how the relationship was toxic from the beginning. Because one of the cool things about the album is she actually had a hand in writing in all of the songs.
Nice. That's what I like about Sabrina stuff as well.
Yeah, and the whole album, you'll get a kick out of this, Jay, was about a toxic 3-4 year relationship.
Oh man, been there.
But and then also the last thing was I have been listening to the music of today's topic, Arcane.
Okay, side note. So you see what I'm saying about with the music, right? And the lyrics?
Yeah, but also the songs are really good.
I never said that the songs are bad. I'm just saying I find it hilarious that like they'll be playing a song, like a scene will be happening, and the lyrics of the song will be describing the scene.
Yeah.
It's not as literal as you made me believe, but yeah.
Oh no. It was exactly how Jay
There were a couple that were pretty literal.
But anyway, Tony, what have you been watching?
What have I been watching? Well, have I got some interesting things to say to y'all?
All right.
So, I decided on a whim today that I will start with the newest thing to the things that I've done in like the past week or so.
All right.
Quick as I can. I'm currently watching something that's got my director's spirit coming back to me.
Okay.
It is Disney Pixar's newest miniseries. This is only 4 episodes long.
Oh, the Inside Out one.
Yes.
Yeah, we reacted to the trailer for that. Yeah.
Yes. When I say this is my director's spirit telling me, yep, that's how one director would do this. That's how a lot of like art house directors would act. It fits.
Nice.
Nice.
And without giving it away, because you can actually see it in the trailer, our protagonist for this little adventure, Paul, I'll try without spoiling, but this director is weirdly relatable, yet kind of stupid.
Nice.
And a lot of the other characters are trying to move forward, but she's just stuck in a certain pathway that she kind of put herself in.
Uh-huh.
And it's just like, oh my god, this is just a great little commentary on the creative spirit when it comes to movie studio. It is insane.
Nice.
And Jay, especially you,
All right.
because my noggin works a little bit more than Brian does, but Brian knows how my brain works, but since you've been exposed to my nonsense more,
Fair.
watch this, and you'll see what I mean.
All right. I mean, I planned on watching it at some point, anyways.
But I want you to point out, because I've mentioned this in the past while I was in college trying to be a director, and I've mentioned, maybe offhandedly at times, my issues with Hollywood.
Yeah. No,
With how
I've sat through those rants. Yep.
So if you can remember those rants while watching that show, you can see how both correct and shocked observation.
All right. Interesting.
Still keeping the same vein of Disney Pixar, I checked out a Pixar short. I think it's called Cloud Away. Basically, it's a short that came out in 2009, centered around storks going into the clouds, and the cloud people make human babies, kittens, puppies, all that nice stuff, right?
Interesting.
You get this one cloud and this one beaten as fuck stork, because this cloud makes some dangerous nonsense. And he's passing, oh hey, they're just like regular babies. And his stork, this poor stork, this bird, man, losing feathers, getting impaled by porcupine quills, it goes crazy.
Oh, nice.
But it was actually a cute little short, and I actually enjoy those kinds of stories. There's no talking, no dialogue. It's all expression.
Nice. Yeah, that's what I really like that about. I really like that about Pixar shorts.
They convey the story quite well. Like it's a story you don't need dialogue. before.
Mm-hmm.
Like, characters themselves just convey their emotions by mumbles or whatever.
I don't remember what it was, but there was a Pixar short. I think it had to do with disability. But I remember watching it, and the shit made me cry. And I remember I tweeted at the director and writer of the short, and they actually responded to me. It was cool.
Nice. And, okay, so that was throughout the course of the day. I am continuing on a watch through on my personal time of the first. I'm watching Futurama from the beginning again.
Nice.
I've watched up to season 2. I'm at the point of season 2 where I just finished the episode where they went to the Slurm planet.
Yeah, I remember that episode.
Yeah, good. And still one of the funny lines from the professor, just looking at the Grunkalunka. Tell them that I hate them. Perfect old man stuff. And then, as the recording of this podcast, I decided, funny whim, since my previous CK3 playthroughs, with the new DLC available for consoles, by the way, I've been able to actually participate in tournaments.
Nice.
And I decided, you know what? Trying to make Big Ireland, which I have to succeed a couple of times, but it doesn't last all that much. I decided to go back to France. And so far, I'm getting closer and closer to becoming the new king of France.
Oh, cool. Good for you.
Oh.
And the funniest of all is the surname that I chose for this new dukedom.
Okay.
They're known as de Dumont.
Oh, cool.
As a reference
To Alexander Dumas.
to Dumont.
Yeah. Nice.
Also, the way I usually play CK3 now, I've manipulated a few things here so I can have any sort of marriages that I want and do cultural mixing because I'm that much of an insane.
Nice.
It's fun. It's enjoyable. I'm on the verge of completing the psychic type Nuzlocke that I'm doing for Pokemon Shield. And so far, I've only had 3 deaths overall.
Nice. Congrats. Rest in peace.
Yeah, and they're all named after famous scientists.
Intellectuals and stuff. I remember you mentioning that last episode, yeah.
And the ones that I've lost, Daedalus, the ball toy, he met his end at level 18. Didn't become a clay doll. Rest in peace, Daedalus. Miri, the Zatu, died at level 36. May she rest. And following her at level 49 was Grace the Hatterene.
Oof.
I know.
Hatterene's one of my favorite.
It's a sad day, my friend. But you know who is still around and kicking?
Oh, your
On my
Orbeetle?
team? Yep, Newton is still here.
Nice.
He's also a Gigantamax.
Congrats.
And the funniest thing, the one kicking is Oppenheimer, the Galarian Rapidash,
Nice.
the perfect horse.
Have they become
And-
have they become Death, Destroyer of Worlds?
Well, so he just helped me beat the absolute tar out of Raihan.
Nice.
Gem. And my big brain stress helped me actually work through it.
Cool.
Do you know who was the crux of that double battle situation?
Who?
Tyson the Starmie.
Oh, cool.
His since Starmies don't have genders.
Yeah, you can give them whatever they want. Starfish can be whatever.
Well, they're named after Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah, that starfish, all I know is that he helped me beat the fuck out of some rocks and a giant sandy anaconda.
Starmie is super, EX Starmie is super clutch in the fucking Pokemon TCG pocket.
it is.
I fucking
good.
love that, yeah.
So good.
But yeah, is that it?
And finally I was able to beat the main campaign of Resident Evil 7.
Nice.
And I'm playing through Not a Hero, which is a story focused on Chris Redfield looking for a Lucas Baker in the salt mine. And I'm feeling mighty salty right now.
Salt mines. Insert gotcha joke here.
And I'm also mad salty because I'm playing on normal difficulty. Because I'm thinking to myself, well, our base game just fine on normal. What could go wrong? Well, my dumbass.
Famous last words.
My dumbass, he learned that lesson. I'm on a right hell, and I'm trying to navigate myself and murderize these molded beasts.
Nice.
It's super hard, especially when there's a big one called Big Mama, and I don't want to deal with that nonsense.
I feel that.
Other than that, yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Okay, cool. Before we jump into trailer talk, I do want to update people. I am officially caught up on Pod Meets World. I have.
Oh,
I've watched all the episodes and I'm fully up to date to Pod Meets World. Currently we are on season 5, so like the season right before the college year start. And let me just tell you, watching the show again and watching the show as an adult, I have to say, Corey is the worst boyfriend ever. Corey sucks. Topanga deserved so much better. Like, Corey's not a terrible person, but Corey is a shitty boy.
I mean, when you're the way you kind of have to grow up to be a better partner in a relationship.
Yeah.
And Mance didn't really do that great.
He's just so obsessive, and like I understand now I have why I grew up with such a distorted view of like love and relationships. It's because of Boy Meets World. Because of Corey and Topanga, and they're preaching about destiny and, you know, the one, and, you know, being together forever. We're like, oh, I bought into all this bullshit. That's why I was so miserable for so long.
You know, that's how men like us, Jay, that's how we end up with the beliefs in love that we do.
Yeah, no, like, but yeah, like it's why now I like especially am against the writing trope of your first love just being it.
Yeah, it's not the best trope in the world.
No one ever gets it right on the first try with love. Like,
no.
I fucking that's all a fucking fairy tale. Like, no.
Like, that's why we will praise shows that, like, acknowledge that. Like, this is a spoiler alert for an earlier show this year. I think it was this year. Exo Kitty.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the things that we loved about it.
And I cannot wait for the new season next year. I'm so hyped. Also, just to connect it to Boy Meets World, Ben Savage's older brother Fred, he was on The Wonder Years, and The Wonder Years is famous for Kevin and Winnie never getting together at the end. But yeah, so I mean, I'm still enjoying Boy Meets World. It's one of my comfort shows. But yeah, man, Corey was a shitty boyfriend. Topanga, and like, also, like, I mentioned it before, but like, Topanga is barely in the show. Like, not even like the whole thing that she was never meant to be a recurring character. Even after she's established as Corey's girlfriend, she's barely in it for a while. There are whole stretches of episodes, and they talk about it. They're like, Danielle, where the fuck are you? You should be here.
Hey, did you vanish?
Why is Topanga not in this episode? She's like, fuck if I know. But I love the banter between these guys. Like, I don't like rewatch podcasts like that, but I like theirs because theirs is really interesting, because not only do they like recap the episodes, but they also spotlight like the entire crew, not just actors, but they've interviewed PAs, directors, like background actors, guest stars. It's a really good rewatch podcast, and it really explores kind of the environment of the multicam sitcom. And honestly, like, listening to them talk about acting has really gotten me to want to start acting. Like,
the only one, dude. Sometimes I walk away.
It's why like, I might have taken a break from GMing when I was like, I'm still down to play anything, because I love playing characters. I love getting into character and, like, you know, losing yourself into character for that little bit of time. But yeah, so now, without further ado, let's get into Trailer Talk. Trailer Talk is the segment of the podcast where our boy Brian has collected together six brand new trailers as of the recording of this podcast, and put them together in a playlist for us YouTube people. You can find that playlist linked down below, and audio listeners, you can find out what those trailers are as we go through them individually after we have taken some time through the magic of editing and reacted to them ourselves, and we'll give you guys our rapid fire thoughts. This is the last batch of trailers for the year, so let's see if Brian can end us off on a good one. But until then, please enjoy this word from our non-existent sponsors. We'll see you in a bit. And we're back. Okay, so final batch of trailers for the year. Pretty solid. I cannot wait for Invincible. I hope they don't like make us wait so long. Like, I hope they don't break it up and make us wait like several months in between like last time. I hope it's just one go.
Yeah, I think the only reason why they did that was because of the pandemic.
I thought it was like a writer strike thing.
Oh, right.
I was like, the pandemic was years ago by now at this point.
But yeah, it was the strike. It was the strike that made them stop.
So yeah, hopefully this will feel a lot smoother. I'm excited because we're getting really into the meat and potatoes of the Viltrumite War arc, and you know, now we'll actually get to see a little bit more of Oliver as a character who is a fun character to follow. I'm excited. Invincible has always been really good, so I can't wait to see more of it. Staying on animation, a series that Tony and I have been looking forward to seeing in anime form since the manga started. Sakamoto Days is finally here. Netflix is out here just cooking in terms of anime projects, and you know, to give you guys like a little idea of what Sakamoto Days is, it is a comedy anime about a man who was a former like Yakuza hitman assassin. Imagine, if you will, if John Wick became a dad and a family man and started running a convenience store, but also let himself go a little bit. You know, he developed a little bit of a dad bod, but he still had all his skills. And so, you know, when his old life rears its ugly head and people start putting money on his head, he's got to get down to business. But he's not killing anybody because, you know, he swore off that part of his life when he walked away from the life of an assassin. It's hilarious. I cannot wait to see like how it's played out. I'm really interested to see how they dub it because the manga itself has a very dry sense of humor. So I'm very curious to see how it's delivered in English, because I have a general rule of thumb of I like to watch comedies in English, at least the first run through. So curious to see how it goes. Really looking forward to it, and I believe that's coming in January as well. January is going to be fucking busy for us. Other stuff, Primeval, America Primeval looks intense as hell. I don't know if I'm gonna watch it, but it looks good.
Yeah, got a cool cast. Taylor Kitsch is in it.
Yep.
Nice.
Also, a lot of other familiar faces.
Yep. But yeah,
So familiar. Think of them right now.
that one I'm probably gonna skip. I am really interested in 28 Years Later. I like the I like this series of zombie flicks.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Jay, I did Google it
Uh-huh.
after we talked, and Danny Boyle didn't direct 28 Weeks Later. He did direct 28 Days Later.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So it's the original director back.
Coming back for the third one. Nice. Dope. I hope it just ends on a trilogy, because I think that'd be a nice button to end on. But I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'm gonna check it out.
Years later.
Yep. I'm definitely gonna check out 28 Years Later. Staying on horror but moving to horror comedy. Getaway looks hilarious.
Oh yeah. Nick Frost.
Yeah.
is-
Like, and I'm not saying this just because it's Nick Frost, but it gives me kind of like Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz type vibes.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it's from they set themselves from the freaks that gave us Tusk and Mandy.
Yep. Which I love both Tusk and Mandy. Both of those are really dumb when you really think about it, but they're also just really fun as well.
Well, Mandy's fever dream and Tusk is Tusk.
Tusk is just really fucking weird, but it's also it's a fun ride.
Oh yeah. Also gives off a little bit of vibe of the Nicolas Cage Wicker Man.
Yeah, and also a little bit of like the Village People as well.
Yeah.
A lot of different elements there. I think it's gonna be fun. I'm gonna check it out. What other stuff did we react to?
Doctor Who.
Oh yeah, the Doctor Who Christmas special. I hope that did we put out the episode where we covered?
Yeah.
Okay, cool, good. I want to make sure. Tony, did we? Do you remember?
I believe so.
I don't know. I'm just gonna pretend we did, and
Yeah, actually, I
Oh.
can actually
I'm looking
See
at
if-
now.
cause like we recorded it for sure. I just don't know if it's out to the public.
It's not.
Oh, it was in the cut batch. Okay, so we really enjoyed the first season, the first new season of Doctor Who from Russell T Davies.
And Shooty Gawatwa.
Yep. It was great. It was a nice return to form. Pretty solid overall. We really like the companion relationship. We're giving you the really truncated version because we did record a whole episode on it, but unfortunately, y'all won't get to see it because it's in the massive cut backlog that we have. But this Christmas special is gonna be fun. We know Rose is coming back.
Rose.
I said Rose. Fucking I was thinking Rose. Her name isn't Rose. Fucking the what is the commanding girl's name? Billy? No.
Ruby.
Bill was Capaldi. Ruby. Okay. We know Ruby's coming back, right?
For the new season.
Yeah. Yeah. She's not in the Christmas special. Yeah.
Instead, we're getting a chick from
Bridgerton. Yeah. She's gonna be Joy. And it looks like it's gonna be fun. Of course I like the pun of Joy to the world.
Also, apparently, story involves a intergalactic hotel.
I thought it was in a train because it gave me kind of Snowpiercer vibes.
We'll have to wait and see. But it does look interesting.
Yeah.
And they are going over the trauma.
Yep. Dealing with what our doctor had to deal with the last big bad and all those consequences. The most recent season got really existential with it, and it seems like even this Christmas special is gonna have to deal with a lot of the Doctor's own personal self-reflection, which is gonna be interesting. But it also looks like there's gonna be a lot of fun set pieces as well. We saw a fucking dinosaur, which I'm always hyped to see dinosaurs. I love dinosaurs.
I can say that I am a little worried because it is written by Moffat.
Yeah.
Now, he's not directing it, but he did write.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody pointed out a trend that I did not notice. Every single time he's written for a companion, they've died.
Oh, damn.
He even wrote the episode where River was introduced and then subsequently died.
Oh, no.
Amy and Rory.
Oh.
Clara.
I don't really care about Clara, to be
And
honest.
he wrote the episode of New Who where Ruby died and came back to life.
Yeah. Oh, wow. It is, man. Okay, so we know she's gonna die. Oh, that's gonna be funny. I mean, but yeah, Doctor Who Christmas specials have always been pretty solid. And again, I really like this new Doctor, so I can't wait to see it.
And then last but not least, we had a last minute audible.
Yeah, so I saw the Harley Quinn season 5 trailer on my recommended, so we decided to check it out because I watched season 4, even though I heard nothing but bad things about season 4, which all those bad things were confirmed. I'm still mad at you for killing my boy show.
Although,
And I still hate their fucking relationship. Their relationship is toxic. Honestly, they need to break up, Harley and Ivy.
although your boy might not be permanently dead.
He could be Red X. That is true. We don't know. So
They're bringing in Red X.
yeah. So we'll see.
But also, it's cool that they're acknowledging the canon of Kite Man. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean it is a direct spin-off, and Harley and Ivy did appear there.
We
Yeah.
see Bane, but Bane is there with his
Surrogate daughter Goldilocks. Yeah. But also, I thought she disappeared into the. No, she didn't disappear into the 80s. She came back with Glider's mom.
Yep.
Right, I remember now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You don't know that we won't be.
that was more recent in the backlog. Which honestly, Kite Man Hell Yeah might end up in my top shows because that was a fun one. I might have to revise my list. But yeah, no. Kite Man Hell Yeah was a lot of fun. I honestly I'm a little burned out on Harley Quinn, but I really enjoyed Kite Man Hell Yeah. Although this change of location from Gotham to Metropolis might bring me back. I am interested to see how Harley and Ivy will react to being in this new situation of being in Metropolis. Also, just see the situations of them babysitting Nanawe's kids and stuff like that. It looks like it'll be fun. I'm interested. I'm not exactly hopeful because I did not like the previous season, but I mean, it wasn't the worst thing ever. But in comparison to how good the previous seasons were, it was disappointing. But I am looking forward to seeing if they can bounce back with this new season. But yeah, that's pretty much it for trailer talk.
Yeah, now talk about something else.
All right, now let's talk about Arcane. So, obviously we're gonna start spoiler free. I want to start off by asking Tony kind of your thoughts on Arcane, the first season, because you are the most recent person to watch it in terms of like you were the last person to actually check out season 1 and then season 2. So let me hear your overall thoughts. What did you think of Arcane?
It's enjoyable, and I do like a lot of aspects of this show, but I wasn't like blown away.
Huh.
I mean, wise.
Season 1 blew me away. Season 1 was season 1 with the amount of fucking character depth in season 1. Season 1 was the one that blew me away.
No, what I'm saying is that animation, character development stuff, that's great, but it was gripping to a degree.
Interesting.
Huh.
Interesting.
And it just kind of felt laid out, you know?
No, I need you to elaborate. I want to hear this. Played out how?
Okay, so the animation for what they did, it's stellar. It's great. But stuff that I kind of called through like character chemistry and the vibes that they gave, I called because they kind of made that too obvious. Also, when I'm trying to focus on watching a show to a degree where character motivations just piss me off to the point where I'm frustrated, like, I fucking get it. Just get to the point. I don't need to have your intellectual philosophical moment. I don't need that. Just state your piece and do the thing.
I'm kind of shocked. Cause like,
Yeah. I'm a little.
Cause like, all right. So season 1 for me, season 1, cause Arcane was one of those shows that caught me completely off guard. Mm-hmm.
Let me clarify.
Okay.
I'm gonna only make a clarification here. I felt that for characters, the plot overall was fine.
The characters are what sold it for me with the first season.
Yeah.
Like that's what's shocking me. The characters are what made the show. Like, so for me, right? Season 1 of Arcane, I think personally for me, that first season, and I watched it again recently just so I could refresh myself and know I wasn't like blowing smoke. That first season is a fucking masterpiece in terms of fucking characterization and like and development, like how they set up the world, that the class divide, and all the different motivations for people like Vi, and like just the war of contrast that were constantly at play with certain characters like Vi and Jinx, Silco and Vander, you know.
I got those vibes. That was okay. So the best way I can explain it without spoiling, like going too much into spoilers, a couple of characters' motivations just annoyed the shit out.
You don't have to say the motivation, but which characters? I need to know the characters, because which characters? Victor? Okay, Victor I can understand, especially in the later seasons, but like, okay, Jace I can also understand. Those two definitely annoyed. Those two definitely annoyed me. Okay.
Fucking Caitlyn.
Really?
Caitlyn.
Really? Okay, Caitlyn I can understand in season 2, but season 1 Caitlyn, I don't know. Season 1 Caitlyn was actually solid.
Overall, this is my overall thoughts of it.
I was talking about the first. I was talking about the first season first. Oh yeah, if we're talking about.
There are aspects of the characters from season 1 bleed into my palms in season 2, so that's why I say for both. They're all together.
Oh no, I have season 1 and season 2 as two completely separate entities in my mind.
Oh, no. One same entity, because it all bleeds together.
See, because I don't have the same problems that I have in season 2 that I have in season 1. Season 1, like it worked so well as its own piece that like I'll just go ahead and say it. Season 2 like messed up a lot for me. Mostly because season 2 feels much more rushed, less deliberate. Like
Oh no, here's the crazy thing. I like to counter that.
What?
Okay.
It felt deliberate because of how things progressed at the tail end of season 1. Especially with Mbessa.
Oh, and Mbessa is my big problem. My big problem overall with season 2.
No,
It all started with season 1.
Well, see, season 1, she doesn't have as big of a presence. She's a background player, so she doesn't matter as much in season 1.
Oh. It's the influence of the background character that led to the problems of season 2.
Oh, I understand that. I'm saying she's much more so the thing that separates it from me, right, is the fact that, and again we'll get into this, like she's not nearly as big of a focus in season 1. Season 1 is much more clearly a character story that is much more focused on Vi, Jinx, and the problems of Zahn. That is the main driving force of season 1. Season 2 expands the scale more, and because of that, they rush things, and that's the big problem that season 2 runs into. Which is why I say, in comparison, season 1 on its own is damn near perfect.
Well, that's the thing. I can't separate the overall knowledge. Because season 1, it was good television. Very good television. But I just can't ignore all the leading problems.
You also watched it back to back, is the thing, right? Like, you know, me and Brian can separate it because we're much more removed, because we had a lot more time to just sit with season 1.
If I'm not mistaken, it was 3 years between season 1.
It is 3 years between season 1 and season 2. So we had a lot more time to just sit with season 1, but you had a much more different experience because you just jumped right into you were at a point where season 2 was already out, so you just jumped right into it with both. So you didn't really get that break in between. You just kept going, and watching it like that, and having watched season 1 back to back with season 2. Yeah, no, putting it together all at once, the flow is really fucked up. I can understand that, but having had that time removed from season 1 and being able to just kind of sit with season 1 on its own, because I have that like 3-year gap. Yeah, season 1 is one of those ones where if we had done an episode on season 1 by itself, I probably would have given it like a 9.5.
Same.
Like, cause man, especially when we talk about the parts of season 2 that I actually like, all that stuff. Like, if we had actually focused on more of that, I would have actually enjoyed season 2 a lot more than I did. Not to say that I didn't, because I still think season 2 is overall pretty good, but season 2 is way more rushed in comparison to season 1.
Like, I will be honest with you. Before we had all this, Jay admitted that he watched it really quick. Like, he watched it before we even recorded Penguin.
Yep.
And so he already was giving us like his non-spoiler thoughts, and I was like, not really like some of the stuff, like the music videos that we can get into, I understood, but I was like, I don't get why he didn't like this as much. And then I got to the finale. Yeah, see, it all. See, I think the first 3 episodes of season 2 are really, really good. The first 3 episodes of season 2 are a really good follow-up, set up the aftermath, very solid. After episode 3 of season 2, they hit the fast forward button real quick. Yeah, and I think that it's not too bad.
Until we get to episode 9, that finale, so much stuff happens so quickly, we don't get time to breathe at all.
No, it all started with episode 7.
Wait, you're gonna complain about episode 7? Episode 7 is fucking peak.
No, that's not what I'm saying. The problem started with episode 7. It's a great episode on its own. Its ramifications causes everything to speed faster than the Flash.
Interesting. Oh, we're gonna get into this. Oh man, folks, we are actually in for quite an episode. I wasn't expecting to debate today. All right. Because like I was one of those I was one of those people that like I hype up episodes. I watched episode 7 like 4 or 5 separate times. There's so many things about episode 7 alone that I like. That episode 7 is probably the reason I'm giving the Arcane season 2 score that I did. But I don't think the ramifications more come from episode 7. They more come from they more come from Victor's end of things than Jace and his. Episode 7 is more removed from the plot than anything else. Episode 7 is kind of Echo's solo adventure to
That's part of the problem. Because 1/3. You're missing the 1/3 point. You know what's couple thing?
Okay.
It's a spoiler, so I'm not gonna mention it.
Oh yeah. We'll talk about it. Okay, folks. We have to jump out of spoiler free now. All right, we're gonna go ahead and jump into spoilers. So you've had your warning. Go watch. I still hold Arcane season 2 is solid. Nowhere near as good as season 1, but
I will openly admit that. But I think personally, for me, I haven't had time to get into it just because of the shock. But I like it more than Jay. But I realize that it does have its issues.
So I'll definitely point out my problems with it as we go along, because most of my big issues with season 2 are kind of bigger picture stuff. So all right, first I want to hear Tony's thing about episode 7. I want to hear Tony's thing about episode 7 before I continue and talk about my problems with season 2.
Okay, so 3 people traveled through time.
Yep, Heimerdinger, Jason, Echo, yes.
Jason's bullshit because he went to the future and saw fucking Victor's bitch ass.
I'm with you. I have a problem with the Victor thing overall. We'll go.
Jason's dumbass saying, "Oh, I need to go back to where I need to be to stop Victor."
Well, to be fair, in that timeline, Victor caused the end of everything.
I will say this outright. This could be just a bias thing for me. I could give less of a fuck about certain aspects of legal.
Okay.
And part of that is a lot of Victor's elements.
I don't like Victor stuff either. I'm gonna go ahead and jump in here. One of my biggest problems is the reveal of Victor being this big Jesus puppet master. It really undermined a lot of what I like about season 1 of Arcane in general. Having this whole predetermined Victor has gone back and had these repeated tries. This is just the latest incarnation of an experiment instead of letting things play out like I originally thought. It really fucked with how I perceived things and really kind of messed with the scale of stuff. Because what I love about season 1 and what makes season 1 so perfect to me is that season 1 has this central focus. Season 1 is shows you the struggle between Zahn and Piltover, the battle of the haves and the have-nots.
Yes, and that was great. He told the story.
Yeah, and all that stuff is what really carries season 1 for me. You like the stuff with Vander and Silco, the tragedy of these 2 brothers who have this kind of Xavier Magneto difference in ideology and kind of like losing their way and losing this dream. And then that parallel between Jinx and Vi. It's so compelling. It's so interesting. That's why season 1 is so fucking good. And honestly, it's why, and I'll go ahead and get into it. It's why episode 7 is the best episode of season 2 for me, because especially if you look at like the bigger picture of like how they set it up. Because something really interesting that I like when I did more research into it and I looked into it and I like all this shit, all these little details blew me away. Is so episode 7 focuses on Echo and his journey into a world where a what if scenario where he quantum leaps into another version of himself, or a world where hex tech didn't exist, where Vi dies, but Powder still remains Powder. And something really interesting about that is episode 7 of season 1 is the episode where Powder and Echo fight. And Echo beats the shit out of Jinx, but has that split second of hesitation where he still sees a little bit of Powder in Jinx. But Echo is the one person who has completely given up on Jinx as a person. So this episode, having it be like literally a direct parallel, episode 7 to episode 7, was amazing. I also
just real quick, if you go back and you watch that fight, because part of the thing that made that fight so good was Echo remembering how they used to fight when they were kids.
Yep.
And learning from his mistake. Those little like remembrances.
Yep.
Were 4 seconds long.
Yep.
Continuing his whole 4-second rewind.
Yep. And also something fun. The dance sequence that they have at the party, that's filmed in 4 frames per second to reference Echo the time limit on Echo's Z drive of being able to rewind 4 seconds. But yeah, all that shit is great. But like that's the stuff I love about Arcane. That's what made season 1 so good, is this focus like struggle, this focus plot on this struggle of Zon versus Piltover. The thing that I hate about season 2, and it pisses me off so much, is that season 1 doesn't ever have a clear bad guy. Silco is an antagonist, yes. Silco does bad things. He's a horrible person. But Silco genuinely cares for Jinx. Silco genuinely wants to see Zon progress and be out from under Piltover's thumb. He wants his city to be better. He wants his city to be independent. He goes about it the wrong way. But what he wants is still good and still right. Silco, I've never considered a bad guy.
And I think elements from season 2 actually make that even better in hindsight.
Yeah, but here's my problem. Here's my problem though, Brian. Season 2 has an actual bad guy.
I wasn't even talking about that. I was talking about the Silco stuff.
Oh, I'd moved on from Silco. What I was talking about is that Silco isn't a bad guy, right?
I get that.
He is like, the thing about season 1 is there were no clear-cut bad guys. There's no, all right, this is the bad guy, these are the good guys. Everybody's fucked up. Everybody's flawed. Everybody has their problem. But in season 2, we have fucking Ambessa and Victor, who are just straight up unabashed bad guy. Like, no if and or buts about it. They are the bad guys.
I wouldn't say that.
They are, dude.
I wouldn't say that Victor is straight up, because
Victor.
Let me explain.
Okay.
Because if you go back and you go into it, the thing is that in season 1, the whole entire reason why Victor wanted to experiment and wanted to do the hex tech was to help people.
No, I understand that, yeah. But by the end of it, he is a straight up bad guy. Literally, the only reason Zon and Piltover unite is because they have a common enemy of Victor and Noxus, and that's the shit that pisses me off. Is that what I thought the series was gonna build up to was Zon and Piltover like gradually overcoming their differences by actually communicating and understanding each other through people like Caitlyn, Vi, and Jinx. But no, they unite because, we now have a bad guy we can punch. We're gonna punch this bad guy. Now we're friends.
Yeah.
That's part of it. But also the thing with Victor is that it's not all his fault.
I'm not saying it's his fault.
I didn't say that you were saying that. I was just saying that I agree. Like, we didn't need a bad guy, but I'm just saying the tragedy with Victor is that a lot of his big decisions were made for him. Like Chase.
I'm calling bullshit on that because Victor was just as involved with this stuff as Jace was, and Victor.
But he gave up on it. No. He didn't want to do it. He didn't want to do it anymore. And then
That's
Jace merged him with the being to create.
because he got exploded, dude.
He did get exploded.
But Jace didn't have to combine him with experimental technology.
No, the technology itself spoke to him.
I
You go
was.
back and you look.
Oh, I watched it, Brian.
Jace is literally pushing it into him.
Yeah, but the technology spoke to him, and he said, "We've got to do it." Literally, he hears Sky's voice, and that's what draws Victor to it. Yes, Victor is pulled by an outside force, but Victor makes that choice.
Yeah.
At the end of season 1, he had given up on it.
He did not give up on it. He made the choice to do it. Victor is still responsible for everything he's done. Now he does make an active effort to try and correct with the bigger picture stuff with Jace, like obviously sending Jace back and all that stuff. He realizes the error of his ways is way too late, but eventually he corrects it. But you can't say that Victor didn't have a choice, because Victor had a choice.
He
Oh,
did.
he had choices, but I was saying that he was also influenced by other people.
It wasn't Jace. It was definitely Hextech. It was definitely like the Void or Hextech or whatever the voice was, where that which, by the way, that never ever comes into play for real. Of the voice that compelled Victor in the first place to merge.
Oh no, yeah,
It never comes into play.
yes it does.
Not really.
That was his assistant.
No, that was a projection of his own morality.
No, that
That-
was actually
no,
her.
no, that wasn't actually
Yeah,
her.
because if you
He-
remember, dude, in season 1, she gets absorbed by the Arcane Force.
But when he had the conversation with her, he realizes that was never actually her. He made that himself. That was a reflection of his own morality, which is why when she disappears is when he goes full evil.
That does make sense.
He makes it very clear.
Yeah,
He spells it out. He has a whole monologue about it.
that is
But-
true. Yeah.
I
Do that.
yeah, I'll give you that. And like you said, though, I do agree. We didn't need a villain.
Yeah, and that's the thing that fucking sucks, right? Is that they, like, the thing that was so interesting about Arcane Season 1 that made it so good was that it was so fucking nuanced. Like, no one was right, no one was wrong in Season 1. Everybody had fucked up reasonings, everybody had their righteous causes, but they just have a straight up bad guy. And also, the rushed pacing really fucks with certain characters. I want to talk about this, and I was really upset about this. I wish we got more of evil Caitlyn. I was so upset that we set up that Caitlyn gets corrupted by Ambessa, gets consumed by vengeance, and all she has to do is talk to Vi once. And she's like, "You're right. I'm gonna help you and your mutated dad." What? You just had one conversation with this bitch. Excuse me?
If you do go back and you look at some of the, like, when she starts to uncover Ambessa's corruption
But
and all
still, like, what
that, you
one?
can see it in her eyes. Like, they animated that.
They still really rush through evil Caitlyn.
Disagreeing with that. I'm not arguing and disagreeing.
Like,
I'm just saying that also I kind of get what they were going for, because if you look at it, the way things are is we had Caitlyn going bad for the Arc 1, and then we had her learning to come back in Arc 2, and then we had her good in Arc 3. And I get what they were going for with that. Like you said, I do wish we did get more time.
Yeah, that's my problem. I'm not saying that arc is bad. I'm saying that they went too quick with it. Like, literally, she just has one conversation with Vi, and it's like, I know. I'm like, wait. I know. Excuse me?
And then also, by the way, in your defense, half of that conversation they have is off screen.
Exactly. And like, but yeah, no, Caitlyn in season 2 really pissed me off. Because, like, again, like, I I thought it was so interesting that we're seeing Caitlyn being corrupted because, like, you know, she had all this talk about Jinx after, you know, after the stuff that happened with Jinx and obviously the death of her mother. And Jinx herself was a character that was consumed with vengeance and hatred and stuff like that. And Caitlyn's transformation into a parallel character like that would have been so interesting, but we just kind of speed run it. And it pisses me off. And I was like, man, that's such a waste of such an interesting character.
Also, she didn't do it on her own. She was pushed into it.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah, and I don't mind her being pushed into it by Ambessa. Like, that's not my problem. My problem is the fact that, like, we rushed through that entire character progression.
No, okay, so here's my thing, and this will show my great annoyance with Kate overall.
Okay.
This bitch has she's a boat without a rudder.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Her goals, her ambition, they're shaped by the people around her, not so much by her decision. Now in season 1, she had more of a rudder. That much I could see, and I liked that. But then I saw the little inklings of this woman can be pushed either direction, just to whatever degree. Strain, mommy's approval, to be different from her mom, whatever. I'm not a big fan of characters like that. It gets rid of their own agency.
No, I'm with you. Yeah, that was definitely a problem I had. That's definitely a problem I had with Caitlyn. And, like, also just a side note, I'm gonna address this really quick. I think the entire thing with Maddie was hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
I thought that shit was so fucking funny. So the reason I thought it was funny was because as soon as they started dating, I was like, okay, cool. So she's either going to die or betray them. Literally, they do both. and how they do it is so fucking... I like, dead ass when I saw the episode. And like Mel does the force field. I legit laughed out loud when she died.
Okay, so
I was dying.
Can I also mention some of my other grievances?
Okay.
That's just personal feelings.
Okay.
That I wish that they didn't do, which turned me off completely.
Okay.
Vander should have just stayed dead.
Same.
Not been a thing.
Same. I really did. I thought okay. So I was thinking about this too. I was thinking about this for a while. At first I was like, okay, I kind of like this Warwick plot. Like it gives you a little bit of closure for Vander. But then I thought about it, right? And I went into my writer's brain, and I was like, wait a second. This is just really convenient. This is a really convenient way for Jinx and Vi to reconnect. Personally, how I would have done it, and this is me playing Monday Morning Quarterback. I am in nowhere near claiming that I could do any better than any of these talented people that wrote these episodes, but how I would have done it, and they had the tools right there. I wouldn't have used Vander coming back as a thing that brings Vi and Jinx together. What I would have done is, you know how that whole thing with Misha getting captured, right?
Yeah.
And getting sent to prison. What I would have done, instead of having Jinx team up with Sevica, is Jinx going to Vi and being like, hey, look, I know you hate me and I hate you, but this kid did nothing wrong. You and remember, Jinx was Vi was the one that stopped Caitlyn from shooting Jinx to protect Misha. So Vi could have easily been like, okay, if it's to save the kid, I'll help. And then seeing the connection between Isha and Jinx would have reminded Vi of Vi and Powder, and seeing that Powder is still there, and the relationship that Vi had lost with Jinx in the first place. And it would have served the same effect, and it would have kept Vander dead, and having Vander's memory would have been so much more effective than literally having Vander back. It feels cheap, and it ruins his character for me.
I
also, to be fair,
And the fact that they bring him back twice, fucking dumb.
Yes.
that is dumb, but I will say that it is canon that Warwick's name is Vander.
Warwick is not Vander. I can dispute that. Warwick is not Vander. Warwick is a wholly separate character. No, I literally watched a bunch of League lore. No, Warwick is not Vander. Vander was only recently revealed. Warwick is not Vander. Warwick has existed before Vander was even revealed.
No, I wasn't saying that the characters. I was just saying that Warwick's name is Vander. Like, not last name or anything.
Oh, but like, I thought you were saying like Warwick in League lore is the character of Vander.
No, Warwick in League lore has the name Vander.
Oh. Yeah, no, they're still two completely separate characters. It's not the same character.
And another thing that I want to...
Yeah, no, they're two completely separate characters. That's one of the big differences in lore. I mean, not saying that they have to follow the lore, but it has nothing to do with League lore. They use the Warwick character specifically for this plot line to bring Vander back.
But yeah.
Another grievance.
Yeah.
Even though I like aspects of episode 7 of season 2, I didn't want time travel in this show.
I can. It's multiverse travel.
Well,
it's not time travel. It's multiverse travel.
I still didn't want it.
I can understand that, but I feel like it. But it wasn't. But like in defense of that, it was important for Echo. It was needed for Echo to start his journey in order to heal. And if it wasn't for that, he wouldn't have been able to have the strength of character to actually be able to save Jinx.
Yeah,
I get it.
This multiverse. And the thing they're saying is like the thing that connects all the multiverses together is the Arcane.
Yeah, I get it, but it doesn't mean I don't like it.
I understand that. I mean,
we're all allowed to like and dislike things. But I really enjoyed episode 7, and for me personally, I even liked the Jace part. But
I did not like the Jace part. I was all here for I was all here for the powder and Echo. Jace.
For me, at least, I did not like Jace until episode 7.
I've still just never liked Jace.
I don't like him, man. I don't like him. Okay.
I've just never liked Jace. Jace is a spineless fucking coward.
Yeah, he is absolutely. That's what I was trying to figure out. Okay, I just want to go on a small diatribe for a minute, Brian. So apologies. I need to get this out because it just puts my thoughts together.
Okay.
I would have been more content, more happy if the show strictly focused on the relationship between Vi and Jinx.
Same.
I've been content with that. I need classism. I just needed.
Well, the classism was actually kind of essential to the Vi and Jinx stuff, so you kind of need the classism part.
In the back foreground is this familial drama.
Oh yeah, Oh yeah, no, I get that.
Here's also the thing though about that is you have to have like the Jace stuff because the name of the show is Arcane, so you have to feature the Arcane.
Well, yes, I know, Brian, but
Jace and Vi and Jinx did not have any connection to the Arcane.
Technically, I would
have been okay with that.
Well, then name it something else, but yeah.
But yeah, no, but to get back to things like to get back to the Vander point, I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. I think it really cheapens, like, because Vander's character means so much. He was so pivotal in season 1, and he means a lot to both characters. And it felt like too cheap and too convenient of a way to bring these two together. Like, it didn't feel, and it wasn't necessary. You didn't need to drudge up Vander's corpse to bring these two together. Like, you already showed that there was a connection there with the stuff with Isha. You could have just used that. Like, and the fact that they brought him back again, like, after that even, was just, that really pissed me off. I have so much to say about the ending that upset me, but that for sure. But yeah, Vander was entirely unnecessary to bring back. You did not need the Warwick storyline at all. It was dumb bullshit. And like also, like, I knew Isha was gonna die. Like, I knew as soon as Isha showed up, Isha was gonna die. And and to be fair, like, I think the actual moment where Isha, like, you know, and the girls hug Vander is very sweet. And like, the moment of her death is really good. And it got me. It was affecting. But at the same time, also, another thing that kind of just pissed me off is that Jinx never addresses it afterwards.
Also,
She never talks about it. She never mentions Isha's name. We never see her go back to the hideout and clear. When she goes back to the hideout and like burns Silco's stuff, she doesn't clear out Isha's stuff or mention anything about Isha. What the fuck?
also, one thing that kind of, in hindsight, felt bad about that moment is, yeah, we established Warwick has regenerative properties, so that really didn't do anything except stop Jinx from indirectly killing herself.
Yep.
Because
I mean, no.
Jinx wasn't gonna stop.
I mean, technically Warwick was dead. It's just Singe brought it.
No.
Yeah. No, technically Warwick was dead, but Singe brought him back with Victor's fucking
True.
weird Jesus juice. He was dead.
Still-
She did something. Well, I'm not gonna take that away from Isha.
Juice stuff shouldn't have existed.
Victor's Jesus arc shouldn't happen in the first place. Victor's Jesus
Like,
arc is
honestly-
fucking stupid.
And honestly, I don't think that Sin should have been in season 2.
Well, I don't think the whole Warwick thing was necessary entirely. Like with like erase the Warwick plot, you get rid of Singe and all that stuff. Like,
And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, with Singe, you introduce the reason why he's doing all of this is because of his daughter.
his wife.
No, daughter.
I thought it was wife.
No, I thought it was his wife too, but no, it's his daughter,
Oh.
who, by the way, has the name Oriana,
Oh, okay.
which is a League of Legends champion.
Yeah. I've heard that name before. I've seen the skins.
She's the cyborg.
Yep.
Yeah,
So people are
the-
thinking that
People are thinking that you stopped in the middle of your sentence.
she's the champion is his daughter, and that's where that story's gonna go.
Honestly, I think that was just a reference. I don't think she's coming back.
We never know because they set up so much stuff that could go on.
Cause I mean, isn't he dead?
no, he's still living.
No, he just okay. So if he just disappeared, then yeah, probably he's just coming back. Okay, never mind. But yeah, back to that. Again, I think the Warwick thing was dumb. Shouldn't have happened. Bringing back Vander really ruined his character. Ruined his character for me. And that pissed me off. I did not like that at all. So
Like, especially with the whole thing that one of the things that I did like was when they explored the past of Silco and Vander and their mom.
oh yeah, I thought that was great, and
And all of that, and then come to find out that we found out that what ended up happening was there was this trio of friends, and after one of them died, one of the surviving trio adopted one daughter while
the other adopted the other one. Yeah, I thought that was great. And also like the discovery of the note in the tunnels. And again, if you remember going back to episode 7, that's how Silco and Vander forgave each other. Is that in that timeline, Silco found the note.
Mm-hmm.
I thought
Also,
again.
I found out that it's not out and out said, but basically why Hextech never happened in that reality.
Oh,
It's because in this timeline, after finding out that his stuff killed Vi, Jace self-deletes.
Interesting.
Oh.
Like honestly, apparently in the lore of the universes, this is not only is this like one of the only universes where Vi and Jinx are both alive. This is also one of the universes where Victor and Jace are both alive.
Yep. But yeah. So.
I don't know if we needed the latter, but
So going back to it, I just want to go ahead. And talk about the ending and all the things that pissed me off about the ending. So first off, I hated that we didn't get any more of the conversation between Echo and Jinx after Echo goes through all the effort to save Jinx.
which I told you.
Yeah. It was cut out. Yeah, they confirmed that they cut it for time, which is bullshit.
Like there was like an hour extra of footage that they cut, and they said that a good majority of it was that conversation.
They could have just made the finale a longer episode.
Yeah, but I will say that one cool thing that I did like that came from that Jinx and fight is this show loves its parallel. When we see when we see Jinx riding in for the first time and she slumped down on the chair, that is an exact copy of how we first see adult Echo, where he's wearing the owl mask slumped on a chair like that.
Yep. Talking about like the things I hated from the finale, I'm just gonna go ahead and jump into it. I don't like Jinx faking her death at all. That defeats the purpose of what she fucking learned. Oh my god. Okay, so I love Jinx's character. I think Jinx is the best character in all of Arcane. But my issue with Jinx at the end of this series is the fact that she takes the wrong lesson. So she learns that she learns that she is a symbol of hope and freedom for Zon. She runs away from it at first. She, doesn't want anything to do with it until Isha really brings her into the fold. And she learns to start to become a hero and embrace what being that symbol means to people and being able to be acknowledged by those people. One of the most beautiful scenes in season 2 is just the moment after the prison break when all the Jinxers each pat Jinx on the shoulder. Because like the thing about Jinx that is the difference between Powder and Jinx is very much like adverse to touch. And Jinx, and you can tell by her body language. And the thing that was really beautiful about that scene is that like all these people are touching her and she's realizing that she needed this validation. She needed to realize that people do see her and people do value her in the same way that Silco did, in the same way that Vander did, in the same way that Vi did back in the day. But like the thing that she like hears from like mental Silco, the whole thing about like breaking the cycle and learning to walk away. What that was supposed to be was learning to walk away from that negative life that you built for yourself and building something new. The bit of the conversation that we did get with Echo is learning to build something new. She took the coward's way out. She faked her own death and abandoned her sister. She finally had an opportunity to start to build something new with her sister. Her and Vi were finally on the same page. They finally genuinely reconnected. Not because of Monster Vander, not because of Isha, but because they were finally able to understand each other. And you're going to run away? What the fuck? Why, Jinx? Why? We spent all this time and you're just gonna run away again.
I will say that on top of that, for me, I'm okay with that, but because I recognize that it is the wrong thing to do and that the show has emphasized that people don't always do the right thing. But I can see where you're coming from. One of the things that I didn't like about that also was, like, as like a hint to the audience, we see Caitlyn looking over the ducks.
Yeah, I mentioned that to you, and that shit pissed me off too. Like, Caitlyn, tell Vi.
What that means, though, is that she has an inkling that Jinx is still alive,
and doesn't tell Vi. What the fuck, Caitlyn? Yeah, no. Like, and I mean, like,
I don't hate her, but
I don't hate Caitlyn. I don't hate Caitlyn, but I do still think that's fucked up that you don't tell your girlfriend that her sister is alive when she's clearly mourning the death of her sister when her sister didn't fucking die. I mean, they make it blatantly obvious that she's alive. You see her flash effect, you see her teleport effect into that air duct area right before the explosion happened.
And then if that wasn't enough, we see Caitlyn looking over the schematic saying, hey, reminder, they're air ducts,
But yeah, no, and again, I know people make the wrong decision, but also, Brian, like, what was the point of Jinx learning all that stuff if she's gonna just make the wrong decision? What was the point? Did we just waste all our time of her building up her character for her to just fucking run away?
Because that's what it seems like to me.
That's exactly what it seems like to me.
But also, I feel like the way that they were doing the show, and this isn't an excuse for what you said, but and honestly it is a negative for the show going on, is some of the characters, they left them with them not fully developed and fully like reaching an end because they want to explore that more in spin-offs.
But here's the thing, though. Like, she wouldn't have reached the end in the first place. They would have still had so much more to deal with. She still has to talk to Vi. She still has to rebuild that relationship. That's not an end.
That means whatever spin-off comes, it would have to have Vi and Caitlyn in the same.
Yeah, and I mean, with how things are, Vi and Caitlyn needing to travel still makes sense. They could still do that.
I'm not saying that I disagree. I'm just saying that's what they did. Because they have, I forgot the names of them now, but they mentioned 3 cities that they want to explore.
Oh yeah, I know. They're gonna go for Noxus. They're gonna go for build Iona. They're gonna go for Ionia, Noxus, and Bilgewater.
And Ionia is the home to the character Lux, who is Jinx's best friend in the League canon.
Yeah. Yep. And Jinx is clearly traveling to Ionia on the ship. I'm aware.
No, I'm not. What I'm trying to say with this is not that you're wrong. I'm just saying that I think this is why they made the wrong decision.
Oh yeah, no, and that's what I'm saying. I think they made the wrong decision. They could have still done the spinoff by having Jinx stay there and being like, all right, but I want to help more people. I can't just limit myself to Zon. The Jinx movement starts to spread far and wide, and so she goes and travels to fucking Ionia.
Or like this Jinx thing got out of hand too fast, too quick. I'm still dealing with the death of everything. I need to go off and live my own life, fresh life, sis. Love you, but I need to do my own thing.
Yeah, like, you didn't have to fake your own death, dude. Like, what the fuck? I don't like it. It flies in the face of everything that she was supposedly had learned.
Oh, that's not.
Okay.
Does that mean that Warwick isn't dead?
No, Warwick is definitely dead. He got eviscerated. There's no escaping for him. He doesn't have a teleport.
No, but he does have a...
They don't got no more Jesus juice. He doesn't have a healing cracker. He was brought back with Jesus juice.
Yeah, he does. In the first fight that you see Jinx and Warwick fighting, he's healing them.
Yeah, but after all that, like after Isha's whole big. No, I'm talking about after Isha's big sacrifice. He didn't heal after that. He died, and they had the same level of that was an even bigger explosion. He was dead. The only reason he was brought back was because he was one of those cyberized, like, ascended motherfuckers.
I just had that horrible thought and I had to get it out. But yeah, you're right. Thank God he's probably gone. And I will watch the spin-offs that come. Just wish this initial setup for them ended better.
And I'm not saying I wanted everything in a nice, neat little bow, right? Like, I'm cool with stuff being left open. Like the Mel stuff, I'm actually really interested in a Noxus spin-off because I want to know what the fuck is going on with Mel. Because they did not spend. Yeah, Mel stuff was really interesting, and I wish they had more time with that. And I think a Noxus spin-off will be really cool. Let's see more of that shit. I'm cool with that. That was set up really well, and I think Mel's arc was really well done. Even as much as I dislike Ambessa, I think Mel's arc was great.
Oh yeah. Also, by the way, found out from an interview, character that we thought might be dead is not dead.
Oh?
Might be doing their own spin-off.
Okay.
Heimerdinger.
Oh yeah, I mean, I didn't think he was dead at all. We didn't see a body. I didn't think he was dead.
A lot of people did.
And the thing about Yordles that I learned about from League lore is that they are beings made of spiritual energy, so they never die. They just reincarnate.
Yeah. But also, I think it was one of the creators or producer, specifically said that when that happened, it didn't kill Heimerdinger. It just took him somewhere else.
Oh yeah, I figured as much. I mean, his body. We didn't see his body disappear. We didn't see him like fucking disintegrate. We just saw him disappear.
Not this time.
Oh yeah, we did see him almost die that one time, but the second time.
Was really. Which one of the things about that I didn't realize until somebody pointed out, which was kind of fucked up, is that when Echo does do the rewind thing, things that happen to him still happen.
Oh yeah.
So he has Heimerdinger flesh and fur on him.
Yep. Yeah, it's fucked. It's really fucked. But yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much it, man.
I will say that speaking about Echo, one of the things that I did like from the finale was Echo's fight scene.
Oh, Echo was great. Everything involving Echo in season 2 was fantastic.
Yeah, you know what the funny thing is
Hmm.
that I've noticed is in the different fandoms, people like Polar on Kate, some on Vi, all this stuff. As we see, we didn't give this a glowing review and had issues with a few characters. But you know who's the one character that everyone can agree on?
Echo.
Great.
Echo was great. Like also Heimerdinger, and also I would listen to an entire Heimerdinger folk album. Like
Hell yeah.
Heimerdinger.
That, but Heimerdinger wasn't completely squeaky clean.
Oh, I never said he was squeaky clean.
Yeah.
I never said he was squeaky clean. I just said he was a great character. He's the character. He was one of the only characters I didn't hate. Like I had problems with Heimerdinger, but Heimerdinger was cool. He was just flawed.
Mel? Really loved Mel's
Oh yeah,
plotline.
yeah. Mel was great. Heimerdinger was great. Echo was great. Those three characters, and Jinx was great up until the ending.
Yeah.
Like Kate, I had my issues with. Vi, I honestly, no, I liked Vi. No, I didn't have any major frustrations with Vi. All of Vi's stuff made sense. The stuff I had with Vi more so has to do with my problems with the Vander thing, more so than with Vi herself.
Yeah, and also I noticed somebody pointed this out, which I just thought was hilarious. When Jinx and Echo get together, it's like pure magic, and they do a lot of great things.
Toxic, absolutely toxic.
When Vi and Jace,
Vi and Kate, Vi and Jace.
no, Vi and Jace. When Vi and Jace are together, like not romantically, but just
Oh.
in a scene, and it's just the two of them, they can't do anything right.
I mean, to be fair, Jace could not do anything right, period. Jace is a failure. Jace is an absolute, utter failure. There's only one character in this show that I hate, and it's Jace. Jace fails at everything.
Sucks, because I like the actor.
I like the actor. I hate the character. The character is a total fail.
I hate Victor more.
I
hate him more.
I do hate Victor more because the Jesus God thing overcomplicated this whole
Victor was
season.
an interesting character in season 1.
In season 1. Okay, I'll give you in season 1.
Yeah, but Jace was just there.
No, Jace failed. Jace just failed. Continued to fail upwards. He just continued to fail upwards.
And not in the fun way of some of my RPG characters.
No, he didn't fail upwards. He fell by sleeping his way to the top.
He did sleep his way to the top. He really, yeah. No, you're right. He did. But yeah, okay. So final thoughts and rating. I'll start. I give season 2. I give season 1 like a 9.5. I love season 1. Season 1 is damn near perfect. Like, cause season 1 was very focused, and I was focused on the Zahn Piltover conflict and the family drama. I was here for all of that. I love season 1. I will stand by that 100%. Season 2, 7.5. 7.5. There's still a lot of stuff that I like. Animation is top tier. Expressions are great. Fight scenes are great. Music is solid. There are still characters that I really, really like Echo, like Heimerdinger, like Mel. The world building is really interesting. Even some of the side characters like Isha, loved all that stuff. But like they really lost.
I forgot his name now, but I like the dude that looked like Vanda.
Dude that
the
looked.
enforcer dude.
You're talking about
The one that was like Vi.
you're talking about Vi's work dad, the enforcer guy that died on the cannon. I forget his name too, but I liked him too. He was cool.
Yeah, cool guy.
But yeah, there's still a lot of characters that I liked, and honestly, for the most part, season 2 was good, except for some of the major plot lines, like the Warwick stuff, and the finale really put a sour taste in my mouth, and really messed up one of my favorite characters in Jinx. Like, Jinx was, like, seriously my favorite character throughout this entire show, and like the finale really messed up my opinion of her. Like it didn't ruin the character in the same way I feel like Warwick ruined Vander, but like she pissed me off at the very end, and I love that character. So yeah, I'm gonna go with 7.5. Like if I ignore the finale, I could give it an 8. If I ignore the finale, I give it an 8.
Really? Because I guess transitioning over to me. For me, the finale alone brought it down 1 point.
See, yeah, I could feel that.
I really liked some of the things that they did. Like, the action was still great. And honestly, one of my favorite fight scenes of season 2.
Oh yeah.
Didn't involve a single main character. It was what's her name? The one-armed chick.
Sevica. Sevica. Yep.
Sevica's fight.
Oh yeah, she's great.
That was great. Where it like had the unpredictability of the Jinx arm.
Yep. Oh well. Oh yeah. With the slot machine arm. Yep. That was cool. I really like that one.
By the way, I think that was actually Jinx.
Oh yeah.
Who was singing that song? So Jinx was rocking to her own song.
Oh, that's cool.
But and also, I know you used to talk about it a lot back in the day with One Piece. There were a lot of good like impact frames in this.
Oh yeah.
And the animation was great. Like even when they went to like other art styles for like the music videos.
Oh yeah. No. Arcane is a fucking technical marvel in terms of animation for 100%.
So for me, just finishing it off real quick. That is why I do agree that season 1 is a 9.5 and that season 2 is a big step down, but I think there were enough redeeming qualities for me personally.
Okay.
To give it a flat out 8.
Interesting.
For me, 9.
Whoa, interesting.
What?
Yeah, season 1's a 9.
Oh, okay, season 1. Okay, I was like, okay, cool. I was confused. Okay.
Season 2 is a 6.5.
Okay, so we're on the same page. 7.5. Okay.
No, 6.
6.5. Oh, okay. Point lower than me. Interesting. All right.
Well, I guess I can understand that also. If you see both of them back to back,
the problems are a lot more prominent if you watch them. Like, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah, I was cursed with looking at things from a victor perspective.
Yep.
I am not a fan of that.
I feel that. But yeah, wow, this was a fun episode. I wasn't expecting to get so animated, pun intended.
Well, I haven't even really gotten a lot of my other grievances, but it would make a longer episode, and I don't really think that.
No, we don't. But yeah, okay. So yeah, this concludes Channel Chaser Season 3. We hope you guys have enjoyed. We do apologize that like we really fucked up with the backlog there. There are a lot of great episodes that will never see the light of day that you will unfortunately never get to see.
But just
Hey!
last year when we went over the backlog, when we have to delete a backlog, we will be addressing some of them in our year-end wrap-up.
Which will be happening first week of January. Which let me look at the calendar. What is the first Tuesday of January? Because that's when we will record. First Tuesday of January is the 7th. So look forward to that somewhere around then. We will be back. Happy holidays, happy New Year to you all. This has been such a fun experience. This has been Tony's first year on the podcast as a full host. So thank you, Tony. It's been a ride.
Yeah, it has. And plus, getting to just watch things that I wouldn't normally watch a lot of the time with these two chuckleheads, it's been a great ride.
Yeah, and I mean, again, we've also just all the good and the bad. You like getting to gush about stuff like Wicked, Sandman, fucking the Mean Girls movie, all that stuff. Like,
even though it was a vlog, How I Met Your Father.
Yeah, man, there's so many big memories, and we cannot wait to make more hopefully memorable episodes for you guys next year. Once again, happy holidays and happy new year from the Channel Chasers family to yours, and we will see you guys next year. Peace.